to step out and get it. Oh, here's Mark. Okay, good. I was going to get a drink of water. All good. Oh, sir.
Counselor beat me in here, I know him.
Ready? Okay, this is the City of Washington, Missouri Board of Adjustment meeting on June 9th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Gwen Montal,
Here.
Samantha Wacker,
Here.
Jason Pellin, Kevin Creedy,
Here.
Mark Scornia,
Late.
Sarah Skeen.
Here. Will you join me in a pledge of allegiance, please? Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our last meeting was April 14th. Does anyone have any questions about the minutes?
No, I would make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next file, our first file for the night is file number 25-0602-2333 Stonebridge Court. Sarah, will you read it?
Okay, so we have a variance for floodplain development. This is the parcel. You can see with contour lines showing where that kind of slopes down to the river, the creek behind there. The sketch plan shows an accessory structure that's about 196 square feet in that corner of that property. And they are asking for a variance, but our code actually allows for certain requirements to be met that we would be able to issue them a floodplain permit. But it depends on getting a variance. So we haven't gone through that process yet until we finish up here, and then we would continue. So, and this is Charles, he's our city engineer, and he manages the floodplain, so he can speak more to any questions you might have about that.
Yeah, so basically the code right now, for any structure, it needs to be elevated 2 feet above the base flood elevation. Here, you're at the base flood elevation, but we do have language in the code that allows accessory structures not used for, habitation, only for storage, or parking, to be at the base flood elevation if they, are properly anchored and they have flood openings or flood proof, and a variance is granted to allow that. So the applicant has done the flood openings, and they're working on anchoring it properly. We're working with them on that. Everything else, it's at the base flood elevation, so just looking for a variance to allow it.
What does that do? I don't recall, as far as any claims later on.
As far as damage,
Yes.
yeah, and then there did have to send to the applicant basically that they would be required to have, flood insurance and increase their premiums and stuff like that, so it'd all go through.
Gotcha.
The flood
That's
insurance.
the part I couldn't remember.
Yes.
So, okay.
So I'm assuming, since we have a city engineer speaking on behalf of this, that the city recommends the variance.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's clear in the record.
And as I recall on that, then it can't have electric or any appliances or anything like that, correct?
Yes.
Is-
Yep.
okay.
Or they would have to be elevated.
Got it.
anything
Yep.
like that.
Okay.
Any questions?
I'm good.
Ready to vote?
Is there anybody else that wants to speak?
Thank you. Is anyone else present to speak?
Oh, I'm the homeowner.
Come on up.
Yes. I was gonna say Charles has been real helpful. Cut
Identify
in the-
yourself, please.
Oh, Michael Angelo, live at 2333 Stonebridge Court. Thanks for listening about my variance and everything. I've actually cut out the holes that he required even larger than what's supposed to be there. I already have that done, and I will be getting it bolted down over and above what's even required to. And it's just a storage shed to hold like pool toys, stuff like that. There will be no electricity in there, so we won't have to worry about anything like that too. And the creek that it is in the flood zone area, I know you all know how much rain we've had this year. It's still like 3 foot below. I know it's a 100-year one, and it can happen, but where I'm situated at, it would be really hard for something like that to happen. And I think with doing everything that Charles has suggested, there shouldn't be a problem with that. I hope you guys would approve that for me, please.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Will you read it?
Whereas the board does find and determine that the property in question located at 2333 Stonebridge Court is within the city limits of the city of Washington and is located in an R1D single-family residential zoning district. And whereas City Code Section 415.080G, structures used solely for parking and limited storage purposes not attached to any other structure on the site of limited investment value and not larger than 400 square feet may be constructed at grade and wet flood-proofed, provided that there is no human habitation or occupancy of the structure. The structure is of single-wall design. A variance has been granted from the standard floodplain management requirements of the chapter, and a floodplain development permit has been issued. Whereas the applicant is requesting a variance from the standard floodplain management requirement. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the request to allow for the construction of an accessory structure in the floodplain is hereby granted, provided that all other ordinances and regulations of the city of Washington are met. The city engineer is hereby directed to proceed with the floodplain development permit for such structure as described in accordance with this resolution of decision. Jason Pellin, not here. Kevin Creedy,
Yes.
Gwen Montal,
Yes.
Mark Scornia,
Yes.
Samantha Wacker.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Great. Best of luck. Our next file is number 25-0603-509/511 West Second Street.
All right, this is for 511 West Second Street specifically. Right now, they're they're a duplex in a R2 zoning district. They're proposing a zoning change to R1C, which will be proposed tonight. And of course, with a subsequent preliminary plat to divide that parcel. So upon that division, they will be outside of the lot size minimum of 6,000 square feet. It is not a lot, it's 160 square feet, 63 square feet difference. But, we could do some zigzags and things like that to take, a little bit off the other property, but it doesn't seem like that would be necessary. This is a very common, as you can see in the previous slide. Oh, I don't have the zoning in here, but this is a very common subdivision here. You have R1C to the north, and you have some two-family, obviously to east and west of this. So again, this is not an uncommon thing, and to create a lot line that's a little misshapen seems inappropriate and unnecessary. So we are recommending approval of a variance for this lot size for 511 West Second Street at 5,837 square feet.
Does anyone want to speak for this?
My name's Mark Frankenberg, Bishop Frankenberg, downtown Washington. It was one of my plats, our BFA's plats, and Sarah said that's what we want to do. We thought about cranking the back end, but it doesn't give them as much driveway in use, so we're hoping you grant the variance.
Sure.
So.
Are there any issues with the driveway?
No, everything's good. It's just if you look at it, we'd had to crank the driveway several feet to the east, and then it's a crooked property line, and somebody doesn't have half of the driveway. I think it just creates confusion, so
Sure.
it's just better to keep it clean. And this is the way the condos were set up at the time. So, and again, I believe it's all about financing. And insurance, I heard the other day, we're doing some other ones, and they say the insurance is a lot cheaper if you own all of it. So there's some financial issues here that people are trying to avoid.
Questions, anybody?
No questions.
No.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. Sarah, will you read it?
I assume there's no one else that wants to speak.
Okay. Whereas the board does find and determine that the property in question located at 511 West Second Street is within the city limits of the city of Washington and is located in a proposed R1C single-family attached residential zoning district. And whereas City Code Section 400.065 F4, minimum lot area of 6,000 square feet. And whereas the applicant is requesting a variance from these requirements by proposing a 5,837 square foot lot. Now therefore be it resolved that the request to vary the lot size to 5,837 square feet is hereby granted, provided that all other ordinances and regulations of the City of Washington are met. The city code, or city zoning administrator is hereby directed to proceed with the change in zoning request for such dwellings as described in accordance with this resolution of decision. Kevin Creedy,
Yes.
Gwen Montal,
Yes.
Mark Scornia,
Yes.
Samantha Wacker.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, last but not least.
Number 3, file number 25-0606-803 Fairview Drive.
All right, so this is a slightly similar situation with a lot size variance. This one is zoned R1A, and it's is attached in the north to 6 Scenic Drive. So these two parcels, we've come to discover that they're overlapping. So in an effort to clean that up and use an existing fence line as a new boundary line, it's actually reduced the size of 803 Fairview Drive to 9,756 square foot lot. So you can see, here is the little wedge that we'll be losing. So the property owner at 803 Fairview Drive is trying to sell their house, and unfortunately, they bought it this way, and now they aren't able to sell it until this lot line is cleaned up. And then we also discovered that 6 Scenic was never platted. So we also have to plat that property and do the, technically the boundary adjustment at the same time. So we need a variance for the lot size to get that finished and move on with this process.
Does someone want to speak to this? Well, hello, Mr. Frankenberg.
BFA's plat again. I'm Mark Frankenberg, downtown Washington, representing both James Overschmidt and Charles. And this is just a mess here, and we're trying to solve it. The Schwallers didn't want to be part of it at this time. And this all came about in the mid-'60s when John Cochran did the survey for Koch's. This house was built in the '50s. He had a 6 foot or so overlap. Didn't pay attention to it. He was a good person. I don't think he was a good surveyor. He taught my dad how to survey. But, and then this was found again in the mid-'70s when Norbert Wunderlich did, I don't know if it's Scenic, but where James lived. And they found the overlap. It's documented. Nobody fixed it. And then in '04, it came up with a survey that Wunderlich did, good survey. Nobody fixed it. 2014, nobody fixed it. Now we want to fix it. So, and this is, it's terrible looking, but this was our only choice. So.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to speak to this, or? Okay, board have any questions?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay, ready to read the file?
Whereas the board does find and determine that the property in question located at 803 Fairview Drive is within the city limits of the City of Washington and is located in an R1A single-family residential zoning district, and whereas City Code Section 400.060 F4, minimum lot area of 10,000 square feet, and whereas the applicant is requesting a variance from these requirements by proposing a 9,756 square foot lot. Now therefore be it resolved that the request to vary the lot size to 9,756 square feet is hereby granted, provided that all other ordinances and regulations of the City of Washington are met. The city zoning administrator is hereby directed to proceed with the preliminary plat request for such dwellings as described in accordance with this resolution of decision. Kevin Creedy,
Yes.
Gwen Montal,
Yes.
Mark Scornia,
Yes.
Samantha Wacker.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, I think
By
that
our
is,
votes, we've approved all 3 variances.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
So I did want to mention.
Sorry, it's after.
I know, I didn't think she was gonna go so fast. I can't believe we have had 4 meetings since the beginning of this year. This is crazy that I've got to see you all 4 times, but this is it. So I'm moving on.
Yes, congratulations. I heard about your new
Thank-
position. That's
thank you.
exciting.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, so hopefully all those variances out there will stay put till they find a replacement, but Darren will be available. It just might take a little bit longer, so.